Hey everybody, Chad and Travis coming at you again. And we're still talking food and heart health, and we're cruising along with video number 4 today. The topic, plant-based eating.
Plant-based eating, that sounds a little scary, Chad. I don't think a lot of our viewers are ready to go vegan.
Vegan, yeah, you're right. Giving up all animal products is wicked hard, but I'm just asking everyone to eat plant options most of the time. That's all it is. You know, it's definitely different from going totally vegan, and we don't want to scare people. You know, what I'm proposing is just the general goal of eating a majority of your diet in the form of plants. You know, so you're just tipping that scale in the favor of plants. All meats and animal products are allowed with a plant-based eating plan. So you can enjoy bacon, you can enjoy eggs, kangaroo, whatever floats your boat. But at the end of the day, the result is the bulk of your intake is coming from the variety of foods we have to choose from in the plant kingdom. You know, you're talking starchy vegetables, non-starchy vegetables, green leafy vegetables, mushrooms, beans, lentils, nuts, nut butters, seeds. You know, the list goes on.
Well, that sounds a lot more doable. I know I love a lot of those plant foods you just mentioned, but I do have to ask, what's the deal? Why is meat so unhealthy?
So I guess I'd have to say, basically meat, you know, it's not unhealthy. It's actually really healthy for us in small amounts. It's a great source of nutrients. The problem with meat and animal products sometimes is that we get way too much, just like sodium and added sugar and ultra-processed foods, a lot of the topics that we have been covering in these videos. And when we do that, when we eat more meat and less plants, we set ourselves up for maybe a greater risk of, you know, some diseases, including heart disease. And I guess let me just give you an example of what I'm talking about. When you eat more animal products and less plants, you end up with a lower fiber diet, and a low fiber diet is associated with chronic disease risk, especially heart disease. So, you know, that's one thing to consider. And when we're eating more animals and less colorful plants where we get antioxidants from, you know, one of our main sources of antioxidants, we end up having a low intake of antioxidants, which helps fight inflammation and chronic disease, including heart disease. So there you go again. And, you know, just I guess another example would be on the nutrition side. When you're eating more meat, you tend to get more of this amino acid called methionine, which turns into homocysteine, which when that builds up, puts you at greater risk for heart disease. There's a lot of linkage between high homocysteine levels and heart disease. And, you know, it doesn't really stop there. I hope you get my point. It's not that animal products and animal meats are inherently bad. We just need to make sure that the scale is tilted in the favor of plants, and not ultra-processed plants either. I mean, we all know the vegetarian or the plant-based eater out there that eats a majority of their plants in the form of French fries or Little Debbie snack cakes. You know, that's not vegetarian, and that's definitely not eating healthy either, or plant-based eating.
So we're going to cut back on animal products, eat more plants, but not the refined garbage, the real traditional plants. That sums it up.
Yeah, Travis, I mean, I couldn't say it better myself. And for tips and the how-tos, check out links to resources in our posts and spend some time planning to eat more plants. And basically that's it for me, keeping things short. Speaking of tips, though, what kind of plant-based recipe do you have to showcase for us today?
Today I'm going to show you guys how to make an easy protein-packed lentil soup.
Good, I love lentil soup. Show us how it's done. So Travis is going to start with a base for the soup, and for that he's going to make that French mirepoix combination of 3 vegetables again. It is finely diced carrots, finely diced celery, and finely diced onions in equal parts. And that's going to bring out a lot of flavor and vibrance for the soup. He's cutting up a lot more than we need for this recipe, so we could use some for later. But for this lentil soup, we're going to add about 2 tablespoons each of the carrots, celery, and onions to a hot saucepan with about a couple teaspoons of olive oil in it. Once that cooks down for about 5 or 6 minutes, you can add somewhere around a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half of fresh minced garlic, depending on your like, and you want to stir that around. Once you can smell that garlic after 3 or so minutes, it's time to add those soaking lentils, soaking water and all actually, and then some fresh thyme. Travis is putting in 6 sprigs of fresh thyme in there. You can do like 2 or 3 teaspoons of dried thyme if you want. There's some vegetable base he just threw in there.
And you could also substitute vegetable or chicken bouillon cubes or powder, and that will liven it up. You're going to want to bring this whole pot of soup to a boil and then down to a simmer. Cook it for a good 20 minutes or so to let those flavors come together. And when you're done, you're going to have a quick and easy plant-based protein-packed soup. It's delicious, especially on a nice cold winter day. You can see this one's piping hot. Travis is going to take a quick bite, make sure it's okay, and you know it. See you next time, everybody.